Sports checks in with their loyal viewers with the broadcast from Boston, the home of the Celtics. Looking at Boston, they want to turn it around after the loss to Chicago.
And you guys know how much I love aggressive defense, but in that game, they were just a bit over the top, and it wound up getting them in foul trouble.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was not just aggressive, it was reckless. I mean, they approached it more like bumper cars in a game of basketball.
And that one's good. Durant.
You know, it's hard not to think of great shooting when you think of Kevin Durant. What he's really worked on over the past few years, though, is his playmaking. He's averaging 4 to 5 assists a game these days. Impressive.
And now the Golden State Warriors starters. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson at the guard spots. Green is out there with DeMarcus Cousins. And it's Durant in at the 3 spot. Now here's Durant. It's Curry outside. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast. Getting back to Durant's playmaking, it's something we've seen Jordan do. It's something we've seen Kobe, master. It helps those guys win championships.
Yeah, scoring yourself is great, but when you're trying to win rings, you have to trust and believe in others. And at this point in Kevin's career, he's all about that ring.
The drive by Green, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two.
The Warriors took some flack when they passed on a chance to trade for Kevin Love, but I really think that the rise of Draymond Green as their stretch foreman made the decision even better and also kept their cap situation far more flexible.
Shooting two. First one falls for him. And Draymond Green won't give you the superstar numbers of a Kevin Love, but he's got a deceptive impact, Clark, at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I call him a value-utility guy because he does a little bit of everything that brings value to your quest to win. His shooting has steadily gotten better. And while he's not an all-star yet, some of his total contributions on the floor, impressive.
The Celtics really seemed to get better as last season wore on, too. GA finished the year looking very dangerous.
Kevin, with the Celtics, they were dynamite after the All-Star break. Had the second-best record in the Eastern Conference post-All-Star.
Brown wide open. He fired. He sticks that one in from 20 feet away. And the Warriors with possession here. It's a 5-point game. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
And you know what? Exactly what had to be done in terms of winning on the road. Never allowed any momentum to build up against them. Kept the crowd out of the game. And for every punch they took, they had a counter.
I was very impressed, Greg, with the way they stood their ground. Even when they were on their heels some, coming through those moments where they were backing up a bit. That's what it takes on the road. You got to show that kind of fortitude and resilience. You know, one of the big things for the Celtics after the All-Star break was they played smarter. I mean, they went from the middle of the pack in terms of turnovers to a team that rarely made mistakes. That's an unusual, surprising miss for him. Typically, he's good on those inside.
Horford sets a screen for Brown. On the wing, Irving. Uncovered. Can't get it to go. And Golden State will come the other way.
Yeah, that's a good point about the Celtics and their turnovers. Last year, after the All-Star break, they were 4th in the league in limiting their mistakes. They played well beyond their years down the stretch.
And in an era where so many guys take the money and run, Gordon Hayward did the best he could to live up to his new contract. Clark, last year, a 4-year max deal signed heading into last season.
Yeah, and the way max contracts work nowadays, even the upper mid-tier guys are getting them. A trend that will probably continue, at least in the near future. I don't like it, though. There are only a small number of guys that are really max contract players in the NBA.
Good on both.
And when you get back to Hayward, last year his points per game were way up. But really impressive, his shooting percentages were way up. That's a big step forward, I believe, in his development.
Here's Irving following the score by Golden State. There's the pick. He dishes it to Brown. Horford against Cousins. Shot clock at 5. Horford the pass to Hayward. Plenty of room to knock down the shot.
You know, on the topic of whether Hayward is a true max prospect, he did some things last year to at least argue that he is. He was stronger, a lot more aggressive going to the rim. His defense improved too. He'll need another year of development like that to silence the doubters.
Here's Green. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the... And when you look at Draymond Green, he's not a guy who will wow you with his numbers or his athleticism, Clark. He brings a lot of intangibles, though. And I remember talking early in his career with Tom Izzo up at Michigan State saying those exact things, that he gives you so much more than just what you see.
And his current coach and our former partner, Steve Kerr, raves about him. He's the heart and soul of the Warriors, in Steve's words.
That one falls, so he hits both of them.
You know, you talk about Green's enthusiasm for the game. He's constantly talking, whether defensively or even in an opponent's ear. He's a vocal presence. And also another example of how a guy can make an impact without necessarily having it show up in the stat sheet.
Screen by Cousins. Excellent use of the screen that time.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Now here's Hayward. 33 points last game. Brown outside. Lets it go from 11. Pass to Horford. The feed to Brown. Another shot, and they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
And also, don't discount his leadership. Draymond Green's been a vocal leader his entire career. Even as a rookie, he wasn't afraid to challenge his teammates. And that competitive spirit, guys, can be contagious.
Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. He's checked in for Horford. Marcus Morris comes in for Mr. Incredible. Marcus Smart's checked in for Gordon Hayward. And it's Rozier in for Irving. Brown the pass to Rozier. And the dunk to finish it off. Wow, beauty.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
Iguodala, no good. Well, Celtics have gotten 5 of 10 shots to drop in this game so far. Right at the 50% mark. Morris outside. Here's the screen. And here's Brown. He's coming off a 10-point game against Chicago. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. 51 seconds left in the first quarter. And a wide open look for Iguodala. Drills the three-pointer.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Here's Rozier. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. Smart misses. Warriors leading by 3. Here is Livingston. And here's Iguodala outside. That one goes. Count. Iguodala's got a couple of threes now in the first for the Warriors.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Very high percentage so far, and if you want to start a game hot, that's the way to do it.
Here's Rozier. Baines inside. No shortage of scoring here at the end of the first quarter. Warriors lead by 6. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return. And Steph Curry, a player within the gym range. He told us about his comfort stretching the floor.
Anywhere 5-6 feet outside that three-point line, if I have a dribble, if I catch and shoot, if I have a good look, I think Coach will allow me to take that shot. And it's tough to guard, especially when you see a couple go in. That basket gets a lot bigger.
I was going to say, Greg, how big must that hoop look to Steph Curry? And tough to guard might be the understatement of the day.
I mean, he is just an insanely great shooter. I mean, arguably, I don't think there's an argument. He's the best shooter in the world. The argument is whether or not he's the best shooter ever. And listen, I can imagine there's very few times that Coach Curry is not going to allow this splash brother to let her rip.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. What do you guys think about the Warriors here so far?
It's just been a long-range battle for them and one that they're winning right now.
Yeah, sharp shooting from deep, a big part of why they're up.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. And Golden State looking at who they picked. The Splash Brothers are the guards. DeMarcus Cousins out there with Green. And it's Durant in at the small forward position. And Al Horford drops them both. What a season for Al Horford last year. Such a great display from him and his team as he led the Hawks to the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference.
And for all the team accomplishments the Hawks had, Horford was able to hit some of his own milestones as well. Had his first career triple-double last season.
Now Hayward following the miss by DeMarcus Cousins from deep. G dishes to Irving. The pass to Smart. Pass to G. Hayward outside. There's a screen. Irving attacking. The basket good off the assist from Hayward.
And that's why it's so important to really be a good screening team. You get a lot of open looks from it.
Outside Curry. Cousins, no one around him, sinks the triple.
They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
And they may have found the Achilles heel of this defense. That was their 9th straight point from beyond the arc.
Now here's Smart. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Feeds it to Horford. Shoots from 12. Goes back up. Count it, and the Warrior lead has been cut down now to just 3 in the basket from G.
Really strong rebounding on the interior, and he gets the easy putback.
Moment now to see who's atop the NBA in team free throws. #1, the Celtics.
You can't be careless when you play them. I mean, no wasted opportunities at the line. It's a team effort, and they're getting it done.
Mr. Incredible, he's checked in for Boston. Stolen by Smart. And now with the fast break, Smart with the ball. Irving kicks to G. To the wing on the left. Smart with the ball. Curry meets him. Nice move. He stepped back and pushed it up. And it's now only a 1-point Warrior lead.
Well, they gave him some room, and he just stepped back and nailed the wide-open jumper.
Green, the pass to Thompson. Green, the screen. Hayward against Durant. Just 5 to shoot. Can't capitalize on the good pick.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted. And really, I like the movement and communication there.
And really, the Warriors had an amazing regular season last year. Just from a historical standpoint, it was one of the best ever.
Now here's Thompson. 9-point game his last outing.
You know, even though he missed that one, great shooters have a way of feeling when they've got enough room to pull the trigger.
There's no doubt about it. The defense, you can see him exhaling right now. Fortunate that he didn't knock that one down.
Now Irving, after the missed three from Stephen Curry. That's good. And for the Warriors last year, they would end the season with 67 wins. That number, Clark, tying for the 6th best win total in NBA history.
And my guess is only a few people saw it coming. I mean, and as the season wore on, it became more and more apparent that the Warriors were for real, but it took a while for people to accept that fact.
Some changes for Boston. He's checked in for G. Marcus Morris comes in for Gordon Hayward. And it's Brown in for Smart. Bell is checked in for Golden State. Livingston comes in for Klay Thompson. Kyrie Irving may be the best ball handler in the league. There are a lot of guys with a good handle. He is definitely in the top 5. If not, he's got to be in the conversation.
Arguably the most talented player at his position. I mean, he can get wherever he wants to on the court. He's athletic, an unbelievable finisher as well. I think that's something that oftentimes gets underrated. Maybe the best finisher in the game.
Agreed.
Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
And when he's open like that, you don't see him miss those looks very often.
Screen by Cousins. Curry with it. He's picked up by Irving. That's in, and the Celtic lead is cut down to 2 on the bucket from Curry. Curry's got his second bucket tonight.
And, you know, Kyrie Irving really ambidextrous as a ball handler because you can't play him to one side, and he's ambidextrous as a finisher, too. He's so creative and crafty. Terrific at the rim with both hands.
There's Brown with the 3. Again, the miss by the Celtics. Warriors have gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. And Cousins kicks to Livingston. Back to Cousins. Here's Durant, and that one is hammered home.
Now, this is why the breakaway rim was invented, for plays just like that.
Well, he almost brought the whole thing down, Clark, by hanging on that long.
Yeah, he did.
I tell you what, though, great dunk, and this is even a better game we got going on right now. And one thing about Irving's ball handling, he does a great job of protecting the ball. A very low rate of turnovers for a player as aggressive as he is on the bounce. And let's take a moment here to see some of the numbers for DeMarcus Cousins. He's getting around 20 points per 12 rebounds and 3 assists. And just look at those scoring totals. He's been doing what he does best, putting points on the board.
Absolutely. I mean, he has those real natural scoring instincts. The ability to find creases in the defense, just fantastic.
Rozier, he's checked in for Irving. Then for the Warriors, Looney's checked in for Cousins. Iguodala comes in for Kevin Durant. And Smooth subbed in for Curry. Here's Baines, passes it to Rozier. It's deflected. Here's Mr. Incredible. Golden State's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. Livingston dishes to Iguodala. And that misses. That would have put him up. Austin's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Brown with it, and it's Iguodala picking him up. 36 seconds left in the first half of the game. He got right to the cup using that screen. Rozier's got his second basket of the game.
You know, he didn't need to make the layup complicated. I mean, it's not a trick shot contest. But he decided to go for a little extra flavor on that one.
And that one's good. Smooth's got the game tied up here for the Warriors.
And that's exactly what they're going for on that shot.
Here's Rozier. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. The dish now to Baines. The shot is off. Tie game in Boston. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Yes, I'm here with Steph Curry. And Steph, much of the stresses of the coach was talking about taking care of the basketball. What kind of work has this team put in, making sure everyone is doing their best to limit those turnovers?
You look at film, but it's just about in-game situations, just analyzing the situation and taking care of the ball. Making sure that you make eye contact with the passes, and sometimes getting a shot up is better than giving it to them. So we got to just look at that and we'll figure it out.
This team made savvy decisions all night. Steph, thanks for the time. Guys, back to you.
Thank you so much, Doris. Great interview as always. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back with the second half of basketball shortly.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. It's turning out to be a close game in Boston. Kenny, what's your take on Boston so far?
You have to love a team that pounds the offensive glass. That's going to gain you extra possessions. And check this out. Sometimes just having more offensive chances than your opponent wins the basketball game.
Shaq, how'd you think the Warriors were playing?
They ran their offense very well in the first half. There were almost no forced shots. It was good, smart basketball. The motion in their offense was terrific. They made those defenders work very hard. I like what I saw from them for the most part.
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is almost ready to get started. Back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. We've seen Champ really having a great game.
Yeah, and sometimes it's the little things, the intangibles, that make a big difference.
Exactly. The numbers don't necessarily pop out, but he's really making his presence felt out there on the court.
And what a first year it was for Steve Kerr and the Warriors. It was the best debut as a new coach ever. 67 wins. He also established a franchise win total in his first year.
Hayward out there with Mr. Incredible. Then there's Brown. Then there's Irving. And it's Horford in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's who's in the game for the Celtics. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more. So we'll see Steph Curry go to the line right here. It's going to be on Kyrie Irving. And our old partner Steve Kerr also got a chance to coach the West All-Stars in Greg, his record-setting debut season with the Golden State Warriors. Clark, he really hit a lot of big milestones early.
Well, none of us are surprised at his success.
No.
I mean, Steve will be the first to tell you it was because he was surrounded by excellent assistants. I mean, that's one of the underrated aspects of being a good coach is you've got to have a good staff. And Steve has that.
Excellent point. And it's going to be a 3-second call.
And you can tolerate gaffes like that sometimes, but in a close game, man, I tell you what, that really hurts.
The Warriors trailing. Curry with it. He's got 7 on the wing. Thompson. And a minute played as the second half gets going. Green, the pass to Cousins. And they take the lead.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
That's not the kind of streak you want to be part of defensively. Tighten it up, fellas.
Thinking about DeMarcus Cousins, Clark, when he was selected, people questioned whether he could stay out of trouble. Many doubted that, he could, but he has stayed clean really since day one.
Yeah, going back 5 years ago, a beat writer actually had the audacity to say he would end up in jail at some point. But Cousins has proved him and others wrong.
And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. For three, Durant. The rebound by the Celtics.
And with that Cousins story about the writer, Cousins actually called him out about that failed prediction. I mean, they made amends, however, with the writer eating his words and donating to a charity of Cousins' choice.
The Warriors leading. Outside Curry. To the inside. Cousins. Nice pass. Nice catch and a resounding dunk.
He always knows where his teammate's going to be, and Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right waiting for him.
Yeah, and for Cousins, it's never been a question of talent. I mean, many are glad to see that he's been able to stay focused, really for the first stretch of his career.
Back-to-back threes for him. Defense is slacking off a little.
You've got to respect that three, or you'll give up points in a hurry. And guys, we've seen teams hire college coaches with no NBA experience before. It hasn't always worked out, but for Boston, they have to be very pleased with Brad Stevens.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. Steve Kerr was just going over the plan with his team. He was intent on running the offense through DeMarcus Cousins. Coach detailed the ways to ensure he's the one in charge out there, with the ball in his hands and the rest of the players falling in line behind him. He also said he wants them going hard to the boards at both ends of the floor, not just the defensive backboards. Perhaps the rest of the second half will look different after those adjustments, Kevin.
Thanks again, Doris. And Brad Stevens now in his third year coaching the Celtics. Craig, I know you admire him from afar. Good fit for the franchise. Good fit, Clark, for a young team.
Agree with you completely on all of that. He stresses team unity and selflessness and sets the example and tone with his demeanor.
Here's Irving. Following the basket by DeMarcus Cousins. 2 on the clock. Irving drives in. And the rejection by Cousins. And they turn over the 24. Second buzzer signaling the shot clock violation. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Dishes it to Durant. And it's blocked. But they'll get another chance. Outside Curry. Second chance effort. Up again. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. That's 12 points here for Cousins.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Yeah, they have really owned the interior. You've got to collapse that defense and force them to beat you over the top.
Now here is Horford. 5 points in the game. He kicks to G. 4 on the clock. Good. G's got his second bucket of the night. Third quarter action and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. It was a tough battle down the stretch, but the Celtics were able to get back into the playoffs last year.
And kind of just hovering around all season, but give them credit. They fought their way in and spent only 1 year out of the postseason in their rebuild.
Take a quick peek at the 2K leaderboard and the steal leaders from the point guard spot for the last 10 games. Third is Stephen Curry.
And with these guys, they are always going to give you an equally outstanding effort at both ends of the floor. I mean, it takes very aggressive defense to put up steal numbers like that.
And you love the mindset this guy has at the defensive end. He wants to impact the game defensively, and you love that attitude.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Marcus Morris is checked in for G, and it's Rozier in for Irving. Thompson against Morris. Here's Durant. Again, Durant missing.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
Nice ball movement by Boston. Here's Morris. A rim-rattling two-handed jam.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the right.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Well, it was. I mean, a tight game like this one, you'd think they'd have a little more energy at the defensive end than that. Don't take your eyes off of him because he can make plays from multiple spots on the floor. Put the isolated cam on him.
Horford with the screen on Curry. Kicks it to Horford. Takes a three. Horford missing again. Warriors leading by 5. For 3, Durant. That's good. He's 5 for 9.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
You look at Kevin Durant, and he does have a bit of an unusual body type. Still is fairly thin, even after 8 years in the league. Yet, up until last season, he's been one of the more durable players in the league. Kind of like Reggie Miller in that regard.
Now Thompson, following Al Horford's three-point attempt, fires the three. And then Durant with the dunk.
And a few more points tacked on to their lead in the cruelest way possible.
You're right. Those putback jams sting, don't they? My goodness.
Yeah, they really hurt you. I mean, the defense forces a miss and then can't rebound it and finish off the defense. They're hanging their heads in their chest now.
Talking about Durant's physical makeup, some scouts were actually worried about his athleticism when he declared for the draft after just 1 year at Texas. At the NBA Combine, Greg Hughes was talking about this. He posted some of the worst numbers of all the top prospects.
He did, but I tell you what, he did blow people away with his length. 6'10", with a 7-foot 5-inch arm span. I mean, that makes up for a whole lot in this league. And as we've seen throughout his Hall of Fame career, I think it's worked out pretty nice.
I think it has too. Here is Hayward. Kevin Durant picking up that last basket. Shot from the wing. That's good, and the Warrior lead is cut down to just 8 points on the bucket from Hayward.
Now that's a killer crossover. The defender got totally shook up by that move.
Off target with that shot. And a great show through 3 quarters as we enter the 4th. Who will carry the day? The Warriors on top. They lead by 8. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The 4th quarter is coming up next.
Come on with it, with it. Me and you getting it on, don't even go there. Come on with it, with it. Come on with it, with it.
It's set to start the 4th. Warriors leading by 8. On the court for Golden State here in the 4th. Livingston and Thompson are the guards. Bell is out there with Durant, and it's Cousins in at the center position. Here's Bell. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Bell's got the first basket as we get going in the 4th for the Warriors. Irving passes to Rozier. They set the pick. Back to Irving.
That's his first personal foul. First team foul.
Here's Mr. Incredible, defended by Bell. Here's Rozier. They grab their own miss. Mr. Incredible tries again. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
That's his first personal foul. Shooting for Boston. Mr. Incredible will be at the line shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one. That one falls, so he hits both of them.
Just solid. Really one of the very best there is at the free throw line.
Fourth quarter just getting started. 1 minute in the books. Here's Cousins. That one is good again. He's 6 for 8 from the floor with the basket.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence.
Here's Rozier. Clock at 6. It's deflected, but he recovers it. Here's Irving. Irving against Durant. And Thompson kicks to Durant. Lets it go from the wing. And Boston with the rebound. Mr. Incredible's got 5 rebounds tonight.
And the second chance becomes a dunk. We could feel over here.
GA, such a good, aggressive play in the paint.
Guys, it's all about persistence on the offensive glass. You just can't ever give up on a play. DeMarcus Cousins can really be unstoppable at times on offense. He's shown star qualities ever since he stepped into the NBA. It wasn't until last season that he was voted to the All-Star game.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Hi, guys. Over that break, I was able to catch the message Brad Stevens was giving to his team. He let his players know that they've got to do a better job on defense. He said, they're scoring any way they want. We've got to show some pride here. Let's make a stand defensively, get us stops, and get on a run of our own. Do they have it in them, Kevin?
Now, here is Irving. There's the pass to Mr. Incredible. It's deflected, but he gets it back. Brown outside. Now, here is Irving. He feeds it to Baines. Buries the 20-footer. And back to Cousins last year. He was the first Sacramento King to appear in an All-Star game, which is hard to believe in over a decade. That is a long stretch, a long drought.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, no question he's been doing a lot of heavy lifting here early in his career. But I tell you what, you surround him with some sick talent, and I can see rings in this young man's future.
And the Celtics making a change here. Hayward's checked in. Fourth quarter of play. We're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. And Champ gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Pass to Livingston. Here's Cousins. And he dunks it down.
Plays like that, the hustle plays on the backboard, the second chance points that have really caused problems all day for the defense.
Now, here is Irving. And there's the call on Klay Thompson. That'll be his second foul of the game. Green, he's checked in for Golden State. Brown sets a screen for Hayward. He dishes it to G. Irving against Thompson. The feed to G. Nice ball movement by Boston. Shot clock at 5. DeMarcus Cousins comes up with the rebound. Cousins has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Thompson dishes to Durant. Fires from the wing. G with the rebound. G's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Thompson against Irving. To the middle. Here's G. And he dumps it down.
And a sharp pass to set up that high percentage shot in close.
Warriors leading by 10. Livingston passes to Green. To the middle. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Al Horford is checked in for the Celtics. Curry's checked in for Golden State. for the Celtics, this one not looking good. Picked by Horford. Outside Irving. No good off the back of the rim.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down. Try to get some easier.
1:52 left in the game. Another miss by Irving.
He's giving them little to nothing at the offensive end. I can't put it any other way.
Thompson against Brown. To the inside. And Cousins kicks to Durant. And stolen by Horford. Brown dishes to Irving. Horford sets a screen for Irving. Boston again missing.
Misfires again, and the ball just refuses to cooperate with it. It's a tough day so far.
Pass to Thompson. Feeds to Durant. Shot is off. Now Boston takes it the other way.
No question as to which team gave the better effort tonight. A dominant performance and an outstanding win for the Warriors.
You know, it's tough to put your finger on the deciding factor in this one, but I'd say that the shooting accuracy made the difference.
Shot quality and better overall shooting.
And you can mark this one down in the W column. It'll mark their 23rd of the season.
And guys, being in opposite conferences, these teams only meet twice a year, and when it's been a while since you've seen a team like this, it always feels good to take the first game of the season series, and that's exactly what's taking place here tonight against the Celtics.
And when you look back at this one, what an amazing performance this was for Cousins. Every inch of the floor was his tonight as he came out and injected an energy into every play.
And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. And that one falls for DeMarcus Cousins. Here's Rozier. 24 seconds left in the fourth. To the middle. Out to Morris. Here's Rozier. Just 5 to shoot from 20 feet out. That's good. Here is Livingston. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, what was the key in securing this win tonight?
Well, we had to get stops. You know, those guys, they got so many options, so many good players, man. We just had to rally around each other and get stops.
Thank you so much. Back to you guys at the table.
Doris, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching. Now it's time to head back to the studio with Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny Smith.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we have the opportunity to present our Jordan Player of the Game, DeMarcus Cousins. No matter what they threw at him during the second half, it seemed like he had the answer and was able to find all the shots he wanted.
The thing I like most about Cousins is the passion he plays the game with. Maybe he rubs some people the wrong way, but I don't want my big man smiling all the time. I want my big man to be mean.
He was dead on from the field tonight, guys. I'd call his performance economical because there was no wasted opportunities. He took advantage of every good look he got. I mean, everything he put up was going in.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson.